3 must-watch Nigerian movies that are free on YouTube. And I'm not telling you to watch them because they are free on YouTube. I'm telling you to watch them because they are nice. The acting, the plots, the premise of these movies, it's amazing. It's worth your time and you will enjoy watching these movies whether you love Nigerian movies or not. So I'll start with the first one, Love Bank. Love Bank, it's in Ruth Kadiri's YouTube channel, linked below, and the starring is Van Vika and Ruth Kadiri. I loved the premise of this Nigerian movie. So there is a girl, Ruth Kadiri, who is the female lead, who is being mistreated by his father. So his father married a second wife and then neglected her and her mom. So currently her mom is very sick. So Ruth Kadiri has to beg his father to take care of her mom. Meanwhile, her stepsister from the second marriage of her father is supposed to marry the male lead, but the male lead, who is Van Vika, got an accident and is in a wheelchair. So they don't want their daughter to marry somebody who is in a wheelchair because they feel like there is nothing for them. And then to make matters worse, Van Vika and his family, Van Vika's family is currently bankrupt. They have no money. They lost their money because the father to Van Vika made a very shoddy deal that costed him everything. So the father is looking at her daughter, who is the stepsister to Ruth Kadiri, as I cannot allow my daughter to marry somebody who is not only bankrupt but also in a wheelchair. So this father tricks Ruth Kadiri to tell her that if she marries Van Vika, to marry Van Vika in place of her sister, and then he will pay the bills for her mom. Also, there is a trust fund up. Your story, a trust fund, somehow I've forgotten. I don't know what about the trust fund. So there is amount of money somewhere there. So Ruth Kadiri agrees and all that. She goes and gets married to Van Vika. Of course, Van Vika was mad because Van Vika was in love with the stepsister, and then they were like, at first they didn't like each other, and so on and so forth. And then at this particular point, after marrying him, the father refused to pay the bills, and then Ruth Kadiri's mother dies in the movie. And then from there, now Ruth Kadiri wants to divorce Van Vika. Then Van Vika tells her, if you divorce me, you'll be letting go of a huge chunk of money. If they remain married for 1 year, I think there is a huge chunk of money. It was about 12 billion. They're supposed to get it. So if they divorce, that money will go to his father. And Ruth Kadiri is like, what? No, I will not allow it. The funny part, so she remains married. Now, if you think I've given you spoilers, you need to watch this, because what I loved about this movie is not this plot. Because this premise, honestly, I have watched this premise a lot in Chinese short dramas. So if you've watched Chinese short dramas on YouTube, this is a very common plot. A lot of the C short dramas, I think that's what they're called, C short dramas that are on YouTube, this is their plot. This is everything. However, what I loved about this movie is, one, the way Van Vika played his role. It was giving a lot of maturity. It was, you could tell that the characters are not people in their 20s. Either they're in their mid-30s, early 30s, or mid-30s. And I love any plot, because although he's still a child, but he was giving a lot of maturity. And then the way he was expressing the pain, Van Vika did this role so well. He carried a lot of the plot, and especially conveying of the pain. And then another reason I loved it is the African twist of this premise. Again, I've said this premise is very common, especially in the C-drama shorts that are free on YouTube. I have watched this premise over and over again with different actors from different platforms, but now this one, they gave it an African twist, which was cute, which was amazing. So I enjoyed watching the same premise but with an African twist to it. Something else that I loved about, and this is why you should watch this movie, the chemistry between the two. Now, Van Vika and Ruth Kadiri, they don't have chemistry like that, you know, like they don't have it like that. However, in this specific movie, from the start till the end, you can see that chemistry developing. Oh my god, that is what I love the most. You could see the way the chemist and the way they fell in love. You could actually see it. I saw them falling in love, because most of the movies, especially Nigerian movies, you're like, ah, they in love, okay, I didn't see it coming. But for this, you actually see them fall in love. It makes sense. You can tell that they are slowly, they fall in love with you. You get to see it. At least for me, that is what I love the most about this movie. I got to see them fall in love, and I got to see their chemistry build and develop. Their chemistry at the end of the movie is much better than their chemistry at the beginning of the movie. This is why you need to watch this, because not so many Nigerian movies will give you that. You don't get to see a chemistry that builds, especially because these two characters, according to me, they don't have chemistry together per se. If you just put them, you know, like Nadia and Sam, they have chemistry. Like Joshua and Chine, they have chemistry. But these two, they don't have chemistry like that. But what sold this movie for me is that their chemistry, it grew. When the movie is starting and the movie ending, you actually see them growing. Of course, the kissing scene was totally unnecessary. I don't know why they kept it there. It didn't work for me. Again, mainly because I don't love kissing scene in African movies. That's very biased. Is this movie family friendly? Yes, because there's only, okay, if I'm wrong, forgive me, because do we see, I think, yeah, it is family friendly, because there's only one kissing scene, and it's between Ruth and Van Vika, and it's towards the, is it towards the end? It's towards the end, and it was totally unnecessary. Totally, according to me. Again, because I don't like kissing scenes in African movies, personally. Number 2, Flavors of the Heart. This movie stars the starring as Chine. Then there is Chinenebe. I don't know how to pronounce the name. That's why I'm saying Chine. I don't know how to pronounce the name. And then we have Joshua Clinton, and then the other girl. I loved all these 3 characters. I love them. So the main actors is Joshua and the other girl whose name I don't know, which still worked for me because I love the other girl. So either ways, it worked for me. However, the main reason I love this movie is the premise and the lesson. Now, this is a movie that has good lessons for everyone, not for everyone, because you see, Flavors of the Heart, the main lesson in this movie is you don't leave your significant other because of their weakness. And there is a line that stood out for me from the friend of the male lead. So the male lead, that is Joshua, dates this female lead who doesn't like to cook, who doesn't know how to cook. And this girl goes ahead and hires Chine to be cooking, and then pretends she's the one who's cooking. Now, if it was ordinary plot, they could have made Joshua break up with this girl because she does not know how to cook, and she lied, and then make him end up with Chine. But what I loved is this Joshua ended up with this female lead, although she did not know how to cook, because the male lead was telling Joshua that you should be very careful in a romantic relationship because your temptation will present itself as what your partner doesn't have, or your temptation will present itself the opposite of the weakness of your current spouse. So in this case, Joshua's spouse is this girl who does not know how to cook. His temptation was Chine, who knows how to cook. Another thing, this female lead, she didn't listen. She was giving slay queen-ish vibe. She was like, why you need to leave your job, you know. She was presented as someone who's not understanding. Chine, on the other hand, was very understanding. She was listening. She was like, oh my god, you're going through that, I'm sorry. So if it was other plots, the male lead could have ended up with Chine, and then this girl could have been tossed aside. But I love the fact that whoever wrote this plot, his teaching was, you don't leave your spouse because they have issues. You work through those issues. And eventually, Joshua helped his current girlfriend know how to cook, and the girlfriend was willing to become more understanding. This is why I love this premise, because you don't, it's not those typical of, if the woman does not know how to cook, leave her. Date the one who knows how to cook. If the woman is giving you headache, leave her. Go to the woman who's not giving you headache. This is the major reason why I love Flavors of the Heart, because they are teaching us as society. You don't leave your current spouse because of the weaknesses. As long as it is not a serious red flag, you work with them. You take time, you work it out. If she doesn't know how to cook, help her know how to cook. If she's not understanding, help her to know to be understanding. This, gosh, you need to watch Flavors of the Heart. It is it is interesting. It is so, and then there is no kissing scene. So this is very family friendly. You can watch it with the entire family and don't feel like, oh my god, what is happening? No, very family friendly, entertaining, and work your time. The last, it's my wedding. It's my wedding. I'll put the nani here. It's my wedding. Okay, so 2. The last one is my, okay, 2, just 2. So I know I said 3, but my time is so much out. I aim to 10 minutes and my 10 minutes are out. So 2 and not 3.